You know, for as long as anyone can remember, people have been looking for some secret formula to get rich. Well, today, we're going to crack open this totally bizarre 19th century guide that promised exactly that. But here's the thing, what these strange secrets reveal about our own modern quest for wealth, that might be the most surprising part of all.
Okay, so the book is called 500 Ways to Get Rich, and it's basically a collection of what it calls, and I'm using its own words here, well-tried recipes and manufacturing secrets for making a fortune. So let's take a look at a few of these forgotten and, frankly, pretty dangerous secrets to getting rich quick.
All right, first up, we have the Chinese art of catching fish. The book says you should mix a substance called cocculus indicus into some dough and just toss it in the water. The fish get so intoxicated that they turn, and I am quoting here, belly up on top of the water by dozens, hundreds, or thousands. All you have to do is scoop them up. Boom, an instant fishing empire.
So maybe fishing isn't your thing. How about manufacturing? The book has a recipe for artificial honey. The secret ingredients, get this, 10 pounds of sugar, a little water, some cream of tartar, and 10 drops of peppermint essence. Yep, apparently that was all you needed to get into the honey business back then. And for the really ambitious folks out there, there's the art of fire eating. The book just casually suggests that to build up a resistance to fire, you just need to wash your skin repeatedly with diluted sulfuric acid until it's sufficiently callous. Yeah, I think it's safe to say, please do not try any of these at home.
It's pretty easy to laugh at these schemes, right? They're obviously absurd, but they all share one thing in common. They're all about finding a clever formula, a secret trick to get rich quick. And that brings up a really important question. Are our modern, sophisticated financial strategies really all that different? Let's explore that with a fascinating modern paradox, the story of the janitor and the executive.
Okay, let me introduce you to two real people. First, you've got Ronald Read. He was a janitor and a gas station attendant with a high school education. Then you have Richard Fuscone. He was a Merrill Lynch executive with an MBA from Harvard. Now, one of them died a multimillionaire, and the other went bankrupt. Who would you bet on?
Well, you'd probably be wrong. When Ronald Read, the janitor, passed away, he left behind $8 million. This humble guy lived a frugal life, patiently investing his money in solid blue-chip stocks for decades, and in the end, he left a fortune to his local hospital and library.
And Richard Fuscone, the Harvard MBA, the guy who was once named in a 40 under 40 list of successful business people? Right around the same time Ronald Read's fortune came to light, Fuscone declared bankruptcy. He lost everything in the 2008 financial crisis.
So how on earth does a janitor outperform a Harvard MBA? The answer isn't in some complex formula or a secret stock-picking trick. It actually reveals the true, timeless secret to building wealth. It all comes down to the psychology of money.
And this right here is the core idea. Financial success isn't a hard science like physics, where pure intelligence gives you this huge leg up. It's actually a soft skill. And that means how you behave with money is way more important than how much you know about it.
Okay, so what are these all-important behaviors? Well, the first one, and maybe the most fundamental, is simply surviving long enough to let your assets do all the heavy lifting for you.
Just look at Warren Buffett. We all know he's a phenomenal investor, but his real secret is time. Something like 96% of his net worth, that's over $81 billion, was earned after his 65th birthday. So yeah, his skill is investing, but his superpower is longevity.
But survival isn't just about time. It's also about navigating these two forces that guide our financial lives way more than we like to admit: luck and risk. You got to see them as two sides of the same powerful coin.
For example, think about Bill Gates and his best friend, Kent Evans. Gates had this incredible 1 in a million stroke of luck. He went to one of the only high schools in the entire world that had a computer back in 1968. But Kent Evans was, by Gates's own admission, just as brilliant, on the exact same path. He fell victim to the other side of that coin, risk, and tragically died in a mountaineering accident before he even graduated.
It's such a powerful reminder that when we judge financial success, in others or in ourselves, luck and risk mean the story is never as simple as it seems. Ronald Read had decades of good luck with the market. Richard Fuscone had one terrible encounter with risk. So if surviving the game is the first skill, what's the next one? It's mastering that dangerous desire for more. It's learning one of the hardest skills in finance, getting the goalposts to finally stop moving.
I mean,
Think about people like Rajat Gupta or Bernie Madoff. Both of them were at the absolute peak of their fields. They had unimaginable wealth, incredible power, total freedom. But it just wasn't enough. They wanted more. And in reaching for it, they risked everything for something they didn't even need.
Their stories teach us three really crucial lessons. First, you have to define what enough means to you, and then stop moving those goalposts. Second, you gotta recognize that the engine of more is social comparison, and that's a battle you can never win. And finally, you have to know that some things, like your reputation and your freedom, are never worth risking.
And this all leads us to the ultimate question. If wealth isn't about having the most or constantly chasing more, then what's its true purpose? What is the highest dividend that money can possibly pay?
This might just be the most important question you can ask yourself about your finances. What is money's greatest value? And it's not the cars, the houses, or the stuff it can buy. It's something so much more valuable.
The answer is control. The greatest intrinsic value of money is its ability to give you control over your own time. That is the real secret to wealth. It isn't some bizarre formula for artificial honey or fire eating. It's using money to buy your own freedom. And that is a timeless secret worth remembering.